Hello.
안녕하세요.
What?
안녕하세요 means hi in Korean.
I had no clue.
안녕하세요. Dude, you need to get more Korean.
Say hello or 안녕하세요 to the most amazing Korean noodles you have ever tasted. Go Korean with Geeki hot and spicy Korean noodles. Great tasting Korean flavors at just ₹49. Try today. Geeki Korean noodles. Can't get more Korean.
Manchester is blue and Liverpool are still in the title race with a late goal. Welcome to the corner flag. I'm Amogh.
I'm Prashant.
And I'm Mukesh.
Mukesh, you must be very happy or very unhappy. Very happy because Liverpool are still in the title race. Very unhappy because your good old friends at Manchester United did not do you a solid.
I think it was the first time I so eagerly watched and closely watched a United match. I was watching pre-game shows to understand what's actually been happening at United.
Yeah.
Who's playing. I was really upset that Højlund wasn't playing and that the burden was on Rashford, and I was really understanding what was happening.
Yeah.
I even looked up Erik ten Hag's past. I mean, okay, what kind of a manager at Ajax? How did he manage the derby games, etc.? And again, it wasn't very good what I read.
No. Yeah.
And sadly,
what was hilarious was yesterday while watching the Manchester derby, Mukesh replies on the corner flag WhatsApp group saying Man United are shit.
actually, it was just, man, United are shit.
Yeah.
It was just like an exasperated, it rather than an epiphany, it was just an exasperated sigh.
Yeah. Like for us, like our situation as Man United fans, वो Aliens versus Predator का जो tagline था, which I feel is like the best tagline in movie history, in cinema history, which is no matter who wins, we lose. I think as United fans, we are so firmly stuck in that zone. Right? So you lose against City, and that sucks because you've lost to the Manchester derby, but in a way that makes sense because that means Liverpool will probably not win the title, even though they're only 1 point ahead. It's just, oh my God, I can't wait for this season to end.
Yeah, Amogh has been saying this for the last couple of seasons. And this is why I like Prashant's optimism. He's always like, hey man, we're 11th, but hopefully we're 9th.
A mid-table tie.
होगा भी नहीं.
No, but I want to say things like, oh, it must be so nice supporting a stable mid-table club. We are getting there as Man United. We are very close to getting there. But yeah, how's life going otherwise? Before we get into proper football chat, how is life going otherwise?
Going okay.
Wow, you guys did not expect that line of questioning at all.
We did not. We did not. I think
I'm so prepared with my football opinions that I haven't reflected on my life in a while. Amogh.
Guys, we are also friends. Like before the corner flag, हम लोग दोस्त भी हैं.
No, we are rivals. We support rival teams and we hate each other.
Yeah.
कभी दोस्त नहीं हो सकते हैं, it seems.
No, but like I spent the best part of 10 minutes before we started recording complaining about how fucked I at least am in life with work. So this is going to be one of those episodes where I haven't had time to put together a proper detailed run order. So whatever is there, we will talk about. But I'll probably just think of some random other things about football जो मैंने देखे और जिसके बारे में I want to talk. And hopefully you guys can keep up. So let's see how well informed your football opinions really are, Mukesh.
Let's go.
Of course, we start. Unfortunately, I say this with a heavy heart and a painful head. We start with the Manchester derby. Manchester City winning 3-1 at the Etihad. It started off really well. It gave us hope when Marcus Rashford scored that belter in the first half.
It gave us all lots of hope.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
us all.
I mean, it was so weird because I wasn't watching the game. And then when I got the notification, I wasn't watching the game. We had some friends over.
Okay.
So we were chilling. And then I got the notification that Rashford had scored. And I was like, oh shit, maybe I should watch the game. I put the game on. And then very soon Foden equalizes. And then I never got to see another United goal in the game again. No.
I mean, that was I think after the 22nd or 23rd minute, they barely had a shot.
Yeah.
Like, I think I read a stat that said the XG for the second half for United was 0.
Yeah.
Right? That means they had the lead at 22nd, 23rd minute.
Yeah.
and then they wanted to park the bus for 70 minutes. To me, that reeks of mid-table relegation club
That
behavior.
Completely. But again, I also get it because there's no players. There's nobody fit. We don't have the players. Off the bench, Sofia Amrabat comes on and does fuck knows what. It's just a absolute shit show. And I feel like I can complain right now because Akarsh isn't here to be like, oh, you think your club is a shit show?
Yeah.
So that's good. But I mean, it was you could see the difference in quality between the two teams. It was so obvious what the difference in quality was. And agar stats ki baat kar rahe, to there was another interesting stat that I saw that United's possession in the game was 26%.
26, yeah.
Yeah.
And Man City had 27 shots on goal. So their shots on goal were more than United's possession. I mean, embarrassing area. Embarrassing.
I mean, I genuinely thought it was very as in, irrespective of what this result means for Liverpool, I do think it is a very embarrassing performance, especially in a derby. And it's not an unequal derby like, say, United Everton Liverpool Everton sort of a. It's it's two unequal clubs. Here it is supposed to be historically two equal clubs. It is clubs that at the beginning of every season you think United probably could be not title contenders, but they would at least push for top 4. You expect them to put up a fight, and then to spark pretty much the bus at 22nd after the 23rd minute.
Yeah.
And even Rashford, honestly, after that fantastic strike, I don't know if the instructions given to him were okay, now do fuck all. Don't make any attacking plays.
Yeah.
Because Onana was trying to time waste at the first half. I'm like, who's
I like that. I genuinely liked Onana doing that.
How can you like that? In the first half, I was like, what a ridiculous thing to do.
That was an interesting bit of shit. I was like, I did like that.
Come on, you that can't be a sustainable tactic.
Oh, no,
it's
not.
It's not. No chance.
See, it's not, I agree, it's not sustainable. It is a little embarrassing. It is frankly the proof that shows how far United have fallen historically, fallen behind City, and how far ahead City have gone. But it was so much fun to see that. It was just one of those weird things. It was just fun to see a goalkeeper waste time in the first half like that. So it was great. But speaking of City, I mean, City were just ruthless in this game, and Phil Foden, what a fucking revelation Phil Foden has been this season.
I mean, it's like Doku was having a bad game, Haaland was having a bad game. I know he scored, but I still think Haaland had a very bad game. Kevin De Bruyne was still not feeling like as ruthless as he usually is. He wasn't getting that touch. And it's like you neutralize these three players, and then there's fucking Foden also ready on the side. It's just exhausting. It must be. And there's Silva, I know, played really well. So it's just like no matter how many players you neutralize, and once you neutralize all these players, there'll be a Rodri shot in the 7th minute that's going to trouble the crap out of your keeper. So it's like you can never really stop, and it only makes me worried for the Man City Liverpool game, because I think Liverpool fans are in one nice bubble, and I know it's going to come. But but honestly, I would be very disappointed as a United fan. I think they had only 2 shots the whole game, if I'm not wrong. They had one fantastic shot that went in, and then another one which I think was a shot even by mistake. I don't think they even intended it to be a shot. I did like the fact that United made a lot more fouls, which I think is a fun. I think is a good thing to do. No, but that's fun.
Yeah.
Because that's how, how else you're going to have to break the rhythm of City at some point. And I guess, because they also didn't pick up yellows, which I think maybe except 1 or 2, I don't think they picked up too many yellows. Switching, they were doing intelligent fouls, which is nice.
Which is something that we don't expect from Man United, considering Casemiro and all of that. We're so used to getting yellow cards and red cards left, right, and center. We're not used to seeing this level of tactical
intelligent
discipline.
Fouls, right? That's so good, and to break Cities. I honestly think for the first 45 minutes it was 1-0.
Yeah.
Right, which was fantastic, and something happened in that second half. What is the opposite of a good team talk? Like a rousing speech. What is the opposite of a dowsing speech or whatever? That's what Ten Hag probably gave. And it really went to the pits in the second half. Like, yikes.
Yeah, it was just it was painful to watch. But what was also painful was Foden's celebration. Now, I don't know if you guys have caught this, but Phil Foden has started doing this thing where he does the little gun celebration, right?
I go on bone arrow, right? Or
no, but
like a sniper, like a shot thing.
Yeah, sniper. Yeah.
Okay, here's the confusion. Because he takes it from his back like he's getting an arrow from the quiver.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He takes it from his back like he's getting an arrow and loading it. But then he shoots it like a gun. So what is he trying to do? Like, is he trying to get Edinson Cavani's Archer celebration, which he actually does a bow and arrow celebration? Yeah. Like his celebration, Edinson Cavani's celebration is very well researched, and he gets the bow out and then he drags this thing and then he shoots it. Almost like if you see it closely, वो थोड़ा ऐसे vibration भी होता है उसकी celebration. It's that pitch perfect. So what is Foden trying to do? Like he takes the arrow out and then he shoots it like a gun. Is it a crossbow? Maybe it's a crossbow.
No, if it was a crossbow, he would have had his hand like this on the other end.
Correct.
That's the difference.
Correct. I feel like Erling Haaland also has the same questions, because for the second Foden goal, Haaland pushed Foden right in the middle of it. It's not safe, Erling. It's not safe when somebody is taking a shot. If you push them, innocent bystanders can get killed. So please don't do that, Erling. Don't do that.
And don't do the goal scoring part also.
Yeah,
more importantly.
Yeah, I mean, he almost did.
He should have scored that. He should have scored that, man.
How did he miss that?
Fucking hell.
How did he miss that?
Do you know the amount of hope a Man United fan gets when you're leading 1-0 at the Etihad and then Erling Haaland misses that goal and you feel कि boss, Mercury is in retrograde, man. Everything is falling in place. All the Shani ka Mangal ho gaya. Everything is aligned. Planets are aligned. It's all good.
You know how much a Liverpool fan felt hope and how much you felt like the Mercury was in the correct retrograde, whatever that means. When Haaland missed probably the easiest chance on the weekend.
Yeah.
It was the easiest chance over the weekend.
Yeah.
And he missed it.
Yeah.
And the first half, City were like 0 and United were 1 up.
Yeah.
And you felt like, oh my God, this could be it. The footballing gods could be on Liverpool's side for a change.
Yeah.
Turns out it was not to be.
Yeah. Some might say it was Darwin Núñez-esque.
Some might say, but actually,
Werner-esque?
but I think
Werner-esque. But see,
Werner-esque,
the thing
actually, honestly, it can be Erling Haaland-esque also.
Yeah,
he's missed quite a few.
The thing is, he scores so many that people seem to conveniently forget his misses. Like his misses are forgiven very easily because he scores so many. And while we're making fun of Timo Werner and Darwin Núñez, both of them also fucking scored. So
they both,
guys, this has not been a great week for the Corner Flag in terms of content. Like, who are we going to make fun of?
Yeah. Akash is also not here.
Akash is also not here. But let's go to the bench, though. Garnacho, I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a small clip of Garnacho after he was substituted. He was on the bench, and apparently cameras caught him digging his nose and then eating his booger.
Oh. You need your protein. I get it.
Yep, exactly. Is this the nutrition that leads you to score fantastic bicycle kicks?
It's a zero wastage life.
Fantastic stuff. Let's go over to...
Go on. No, I was just going to say, you could actually... I think the other difference that... This is at this phase of the season, you really feel the pinch of it. You always hear of 115 charges against City, right? You just hear it as an abstract term.
Yeah.
But this phase of the season, last third, is where you really, really feel it. United had some fucking kids, dude. I don't even know who they are. It's like they picked up kids off of Manchester, right?
Yeah.
Some of those kids, I don't even know. I was going through the list. There's a kid called Tommy Collier.
Yeah.
I don't even know who that is. I've never even heard of him as anything, right? And Liverpool has been picking up kids off the bench to hopefully perform miracles, right? And then there's City, who have that Guardiola on the bench, unused 80 million player.
Yeah.
Right? And if you can, between Arsenal, Liverpool, and United, and probably even Tottenham, you could have a working 11 of 80 million players who are injured.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? That's how crazy it is. And to me, I think that's to me was my biggest. Of course, United were playing like a mid-table team, but to me, it's also again, this is the part where I think every fan should just look out for City's benches at the end of every game, because that's how you really see the difference. The fact that Guardiola was an 80 million player, went unused. Forget brought on the 70th minute to clear out the game.
Yeah.
He was unused, just wearing a bib. That means he didn't even warm up.
Yeah.
He wasn't even warming up. There was no prospect of him playing. How insane is that? Like, that's where you see the difference. Like, that it's, I mean, like, I guess that's why you see the 115 charges. Like, that's what it means. Guardiola can just not warm up even.
Yeah.
He was as good as a spectator. Like, it would have been even better had he just got carded on the bench.
Yeah.
Like, at least would have been involved somehow.
Some action for him. I think Guardiola has just bought him because he has a similar sounding name.
Yeah.
Like, he just wants company. Not Vincent company.
Of course.
In general company. But let's go to Liverpool because
Let's go over to Liverpool.
Nottingham Forest looked like they were about to put a dent in Liverpool's title challenge, but a 99th minute goal from Darwin Núñez was there.
98th, I think. Now, on pretty much, I think the last useful touch of the game and a last shot, and it was in.
Yeah, but
Fantastic.
I mean, okay, now a lot of people are saying that goal should have been disallowed.
No,
there was a lot of.
Amogh, when you know it.
No, there was a lot of. Okay. But I mean, I don't have an opinion either way because I don't watch Liverpool games. But here is the objective way of looking at it. This is what Nottingham Forest had an issue with, because there was a big issue at the end of the game. Like, there was somebody from the Nottingham Forest coaching staff who was also sent off by Paul Toney, who was refereeing the game. But basically, I think it was a Nottingham Forest player who had fallen down with a head injury, and the referee then stopped the game because it was a head injury. And then when the game restarted, Liverpool should have apparently passed the ball back to Forest, or Forest should have had possession because they had possession before. But Liverpool went on and scored from that. And that is why Forest were pissed off. And Mark Clattenburg, who's now in a weird refereeing assistant, like match official analyst role at Nottingham Forest, was talking about how this is a bad decision by Paul Tierney. And it went to the point where Evangelos Marinakis, who is the owner of Nottingham Forest, stormed onto the pitch in frustration. Like, this was mental stuff.
I feel like it's being ridiculously blown out of proportion. I think in the first half there was a similar example where I think Konate won. Or even in this one, I think Konate actually had the ball. I don't think it was as cleanly Forest ball as it was that they're claiming to be. And I think even in the first half at some point.
Right. Sorry, yeah, it was Konate who was down with a head injury, not a Forest player. But
so I don't know. I think Konate had the ball and then Liverpool restarted. It wasn't a case of so Liverpool should have had the start. And regarding the extra time, there were two players who were booked in that said extra time for time wasting. So I think an extra 30-40 seconds didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think the only sad thing, that like really unlucky and contentious thing that I feel like could have happened to Liverpool was the fact that parallelly for Real Madrid, which were in a very similar state of play, the referee blew the whistle just before the shot. Because he was sticking to exactly when the time was up, and then they had a goal disallowed. And I'm like, did it have to happen in the same weekend? Because it's like, because this was a very clear, to me it felt like, hey, it wasn't that unfair, because it was clearly like Forest players were booked for time wasting, which is fine, that's their tactic, right? You've had cases in which Arsenal, United famously have that, where they won against Brighton, after they got a penalty against Brighton after the game was over. Yeah. So it has happened. There is precedent for this. City doesn't even need to talk. It's happened so many times with them. Yeah. Right? I'm just like, it's just so unfortunate that the same thing happened to Real Madrid, and I think they were also wearing purple. So this is unfortunate. But I think it was quite fair for Liverpool to get that extra chance.
Yeah. The Nottingham Forest fans were booing Darwin Núñez. They were chanting at him, "You're just a shit Andy Carroll."
Don't do that.
And that's what Klopp also said in his post-match. He said, I wouldn't wind up Darwin if I were them, because he has the power to hurt them.
And he did. I mean, it was, I think Liverpool were, it was Darwin Núñez coming back from an injury. So I think it was just, for 70 minutes, it was just like, okay, pray, keep it at 0-0, and then hope for magic in the last 20 minutes, which did happen. And it was good. It was a good, clean game. I really thought that was the end of Liverpool's title run.
You did, because you messaged on the group also. You messaged on the group while watching the game, this is the end of the title run. And Akash had to. It had to be him who had to point out that a stoppage time winner will happen.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad Akash is the Nostradamus of the group,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter because I do feel like it's all of this is just fun and games until the real game, which is Liverpool versus Man City, which I think is the next Premier League game for both teams.
Yeah.
And we all know what's going to happen. Like, there's only so much kids can do.
what, Liverpool are going to win?
No, City are going to thrash.
No, City are not going to thrash Liverpool. See, this is what, and I said this in the last episode also. I said this on 442 when I went there also, and I got so much hate from Liverpool fans who were like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. How can he say that Liverpool are a competitive side? Look at the number of kids that are playing. I'm like, bhai, you are playing in the Carabao Cup final against Chelsea, a team that is objectively fucking shit right now. And Prashant, you're a Chelsea fan, you can back me up on this.
Very much.
But my point is, fucking Liverpool with academy player are still a better team than Chelsea with, as Gary Neville calls them, billion-pound fucking bottle jobs. Like, it is ridiculous to think that just because you're playing kids, because your first teamers are injured, somehow that makes you, oh, we're not a good team anymore, where we have the players and all. Especially when you're going up against against objectively bad teams, you are going to come out victorious because they are a better team. Now, of course, against City, that's a different conversation, right?
Yeah.
I completely agree. But I do not think Liverpool will get thrashed. I do not think that, because you still forget that Jurgen Klopp is still the manager. Jurgen Klopp is not managing these kids for the first time. He has seen them in training. He has coached them in training. They are one unit. And
I mean,
Klopp
also-
will not let his team get thrashed.
Maybe that might be a thrashing. I think that's a little harsh even for me. But I
Yeah.
do think it's very unfair for Liverpool to. Like, it's unfair for Klopp to expect to perform that sort of a miracle.
No,
or something.
but-
It is a miracle.
But now here's the thing. No,
It is some sort of a because it is cardio. Like I said, right? Like, you get past, you clear out 4 of their attackers, and then you have someone like a Rodri who can score a screamer, right? And then you have, I think I was the only City player I was genuinely impressed with was actually Edison. Because that guy he's a ballsy keeper. Like, I think every 50-50 chance he backs himself to get it. He doesn't worry if it's a foul or not. I think there was that slightly contentious decision, which I think it wasn't. I don't know if it was. I think that he ran into Anthony, and I'm like, wow, no other keeper would do that. No other keeper would just barge like that and so confidently kick the ball out, not even worrying for the attackers.
Garnacho, that was not Anthony.
Garnacho, huh? So yeah, I think, yeah, it is a bit. It's a very steep ask. It is. Obviously, the dream is if Liverpool win, and that's the fairy tale thing, and that's the script writer,
But you're
screenplay writer, and
downplaying
Amogh.
Liverpool to be a non-competitive, at least in this stage.
I'm not saying they're not going to compete. Of course, they'll compete,
Yeah.
but it will. You can't have Haaland and De Bruyne and Foden and Doku and Rodri and then Silva and all of these players striking.
Here's my thing, right?
The only thing I have is that I do feel like City have a leakier defense than, say, in the past few seasons, which is hopefully where the Liverpool can be a little stringy, and then they just, every time, even if City come out with the best attacking stats, like more possession, more shots, more XG, that Liverpool are a little more clinical, and then now we do have a Darwin Núñez who can think. That's the whole show. So who knows? But
but this is what you said. I'm going to highlight those words exactly. You said that Liverpool winning would be the fairy tale, that would be the miracle, right? These are your words, and Jurgen Klopp lives by those very words. The whole vibe of Klopp's management is downplaying the strength of Liverpool, downplaying how good Liverpool can actually be, especially against opposition like Man City, and playing the underdog publicly, at least. Because privately, he knows that his team can go out and compete against the best teams in the world. And even if they are 18-year-old kids in that lineup, he still knows and he trusts them enough to go out and compete regardless of the opposition, especially if it's Man City. They will fucking go out and they will put in a shift, right?
They will put in a shift. And I do agree.
And when you do that, when you have a team that works so well collectively, regardless of the fact that you have 12 first-team players out with injury and you have to play academy prospects, they are still good players, right? Yeah. And they will be fired up for the game because they have Klopp firing them up for the game. They will be thinking about miracles and how it would be in the title race and
also
how they can win and all of that. And that helps.
That
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's so nice that the Chelsea fan and the United fan are convincing me, but I'm just trying to be realistic and not get hopes high. But yeah, I do feel like.
Right. On that note, let's take a quick break. On the other side, we'll talk about Chelsea's 2-2 draw with Brentford and some hilarious stuff with Ivan Toney. Plus, more hilarious stuff in the Brazilian league, which we'll talk about. So, see you on the other side.
Hello.
안녕하세요.
What?
안녕하세요 means hi in Korean.
I had no clue.
안녕하세요. Dude, you need to get more Korean.
Say hello or 안녕하세요 to the most amazing Korean noodles you have ever tasted. Go Korean with Geeki hot and spicy Korean noodles. Great tasting Korean flavors at just ₹49. Try today. Geeki Korean noodles. Can't get more Korean.
Welcome back to the Corner Flag, everyone. And as always, we begin the second half with some questions. Questions with the Corner Flag.
Dude, answers also, huh?
Okay, first question is by Gunty. He says, "Hello, what is the score, Amogh?"
Hello.
It's been a while. It's been a while
I
since
know.
Gunty came with that. So fair enough. He deserves a dig. But yeah. Next question.
Yeah.
Next
Yeah.
one. Next one is by
3-1. Sorry. Just had to say.
Next one is by Ashwin. He says, "Not trying to jinx, but City do look vulnerable that first half versus United. Good sign for the Reds."
Ooh. Yes,
I'm-
good sign. Good sign. Very good.
That's
agree with
exactly
that.
what you said. That's exactly what you said in the first half, Mukesh. Like the City defense does not look as solid as it once was. In attack, they are fucking ridiculous, but they can be got at. They
Yeah.
can be scored against.
They can be. yeah.
Right. And on an off day, if you defend really, really well, which Liverpool can, there could be a 1-0 victory. There could be a tight victory. I feel like this game is going to be a very tight one between Liverpool and City. I feel like City will still edge it, but Liverpool will give them a tough fight. 2-1 or 1-0 or something will happen.
We
I
shall
hope
see.
so.
The next one's by Daksh. He says, "United to play in Conference League."
I don't want United to play in anything next year. Fuck it. Take a break. I mean, of course, it has
Not
financial
relegated.
implications and all of that. No. Yeah, don't get relegated. Take a break from European competitions. Focus on the league. Focus on getting back up. Have a good transfer window against under the new ownership, and hopefully we'll rinse, repeat. But same here.
Okay. The next one's by Noob Clicks. He says, "What's your take on Hyderabad FC situation?"
Oh, damn it. Someone spotted that. I was hoping, I was periodically following up on that and I was like, okay, no one's going to ask, but I'm impressed on the level of research that someone's actually spotted it. But I'm also sad that Hyderabad FC, for those who don't know, Hyderabad FC is currently 12th in the ISL and I think they've lost all 5 of their last matches. Obviously, they're 12th. I think
they're having a very bad season.
No, it's not even intro. They're having a very bad season. But I think it's only proof that they're being managed by Dortmund. In that, I think they won about a year or two ago, and now they're in the absolute.
No, so I don't know what the Dortmund situation with Hyderabad is this season. I don't know if that joint venture has run out or what, because like we know that Atletico Madrid had a tie-up with Calcutta, and they had 80k Atletico de Kolkata. Then they became 80k Mohun Bagan. And now it's just Mohun Bagan Supergiant. So it's been a long sort of transition period from Atletico Madrid being involved with a Bengal club to it just being Mohun Bagan now, or Mohun Bagan Supergiant as they're ridiculously named. So I don't know how involved Dortmund are with the Hyderabad situation, but the fact is Hyderabad are in a terrible state this ISL season. And they are very, very close to being financially ruined. So it's not good signs for Hyderabad FC. It's not good signs for the ISL as a whole, because you never want to see a club, wind down. And we've seen that,
especially
we've seen that in the past with the Delhi team and with the Pune team. Pune FC was a team in the first, I think, couple of seasons of the ISL. Delhi Dynamos were also a team in the first few seasons of the ISL, and they've just wrapped up operations. So that's never nice to see. Considering we are a young league, only 10 years into the existence of the Indian Super League, but hopefully better sense prevails, and then the authorities can really figure out how to save clubs like Hyderabad FC.
Yeah. What do we think about it? We think it's sad, but
Yeah.
what to do now? I'm really surprised someone was asking about it. I was like, shit. Hopefully no one does. Yeah, but I was like, anyway, I'm a Mumbai FC supporter, by the way.
Is Mumbai City FC?
Mumbai City FC.
Ooh.
Damn it.
You
wanna
don't
get-
even know
you
the
wanna
name
get-
of the club, bro.
You want to get cancelled for that, Mukesh.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next one's by Dark Horse Hercules. Yeah, Dark Horse
Okay.
Hercules. Yeah. He
Yeah.
says, what do you think, as Pep said, is Phil Foden the best player this season? If not, which player?
I mean, he's
Best player and all. I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
No.
I'm sorry,
I'm
but
just-
no. Phil Foden has been really, really good this season. If not
He's
Phil
good.
Foden, then who?
What our window.
come on, shut up. Really? Do you really think that? Shut up.
I think he's fantastic. Obviously, you're not the best player. I'm exaggerating in it. But I do think he's like a great fucking
I
player.
mean, but there has to be
I mean, I
some
think-
metric against it, right? When you
Until
think
injury, Salah was fantastic, right? I think until injury, Salah is the highest on assists and like probably not the highest on the goals. So that's clearly a sign of a great player. I mean, probably having the best, one of the best seasons. Salah's up there, and I also feel like obviously the best season usually geared towards the top 6, which I think is a little unfair to like some of the bottom 10 keepers or like some like there's a like Sander Berge is actually, of course, he's nowhere near a best player shout out, but Sander Berge is doing really well for Burnley, even though he's in like in an absolutely rubbish
Okay,
team.
but no, okay.
So, but I think if I had to nominate a Liverpool player, I would still nominate Salah very confidently and be like, hey, he's my best player of the season for
Two
sure.
things. But nobody asked you to nominate a Liverpool player.
yes,
I will, of
Thank
course.
you.
That was the
You did
question.
that entirely
That
on
was
your
the
own.
question. That was the question. If not Foden, and it's definitely not Foden, who do you think is the
I'm
best
sorry,
player?
but
I'd be
wait. Again, firstly, like if you're saying that Salah was the best player until injury, the best players don't get injured.
what do you mean?
I just like to put that out
What are
there.
you saying? That's not
Okay.
a thing. Best players don't get injured is not a
Cristiano
thing.
Ronaldo and Lionel Messi are known to be the best players in the world for the longest time. How many times have the two of them been out with injury?
No, but sure, even the reason I said that injured is because he could be even better. Even right now, I think Salah's third on goals and fourth on assists, which is, I think, is absolutely fantastic. And he's only differing by 1 or 2 from the top. So,
You're dealing.
they still doesn't change
Okay, but you're
anything.
still dealing with hypotheticals. No, if he were not injured or whatever.
But
the
I'm
fact
saying,
of the matter.
even if you remove that hypothetical, Salah, like I said, he's the third highest scorer, only off by 2 goals, right? And he is currently, I think, third or fourth on assists, which again off by probably 1 assist, I think, not even 2. I was checking this out. So, I mean, you have a player who's consistently that on top. So, clearly that, right? It could even be Van Dijk who's leading the squad as a captain and scoring goals, got them the Carabao Cup and injured squad. He could be the best player. So, you tell me a player, huh? You throw me a player from the top 4 clubs.
Saka.
Could be, it could be Saka, sure.
See,
And how
okay.
how
But how can you say Saka without? He has fewer goals than Salah. He has fewer assists for sure than Salah. How can you even say his name? How can you confidently even say his name? And how can you say
I'm
his
still
name and
throwing
be
a
like,
name in
and
as
groan
a
when I say
contender,
Salah?
as a contender for this season, best player for this season
As a
from Premier League.
weak contender, like I mean, come on, that's not even
very
a thing.
Rio
Like,
Ferdinand of you to say that
Wow.
Saka is not world class. That's what Rio Ferdinand said.
I'm not saying he's not world class. I'm saying if you're saying, hey, I'm saying my point is actually that if you're saying that Saka's a clear contender, then you can't groan at the fact that I mentioned Salah.
No, I'm groaning at the fact that you mentioned Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Because that is just embarrassing from you, Mukesh. Frankly, that is fucking embarrassing from you.
He's
a
a
bargain
bargain
buyer.
Yeah,
player. So
and
relax.
course he is.
that's where I drew the line. Like you calling him a bargain, that's where I'm like, okay, fine, fuck, whatever. Like that's his opinion. But now this is embarrassing from you. And frankly, I expected much better. I expected much better from you. People listen.
Well, that joke's on you.
People
I mean, I
listen
would-
to this podcast because they want to hear the expert opinions and comments of Mukesh Manjunath, and I feel like you've let the people down. You have let the
Okay.
people off the corner flag
I
down.
have really not. There is a very good shout for if Liverpool going to win the league. There is a very good shout for Van Dijk to be the whatever the player of the
Fucking
season.
Van Dijk
Easy. It's a-
got muscled by who was that way? We did that episode about
What?
that player with Allison. Who scored it? Oh, I forgot who it was, but you know what I'm talking about. He fucking got muscled out by a centre forward, dude.
He didn't
He
get
got
muscled.
muscled
That
out.
was-
He
what are you
was-
saying? That was a clear
He
Allison error.
bottled it because he was ball
Oh
watching.
my
He
God.
didn't judge
That's
the
his
flight
bias.
of the ball.
I think Amogh is holding on to this glory idea of, oh man, I still have to say Ferdinand is the greatest. I still have to say, I have to still say, otherwise what identity do I have? He's 10 years
Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic both miles better than Virgil Van Dijk, but
oh my god, that's one of the most serious things anyone has ever said.
That's a different conversation altogether. My first point was, yes, Phil Foden definitely is a contender for one of the best players of the season thus far. And it sucks that Salah is injured and that Salah had to take a break in the middle of the season for AFCON.
So clearly Salah. It's like it's not.
I don't think it's so clearly Salah because Kevin De Bruyne is in the mix, Erling Haaland is in the mix, Phil Foden is in the mix.
Kevin De Bruyne, what are you saying? How can Kevin De Bruyne be in the mix? What are his statistics?
Even after the injury, he's still coming back in. To be fair,
if what you say is come back, he's not featuring. He's not showing the numbers. He's not featuring on any of the numbers.
If you're saying
Salah, how are you?
Mukesh, if you're saying that Salah is in contention to be one of the best players of the season because even though he's been injured, his
numbers are fantastic. He's still there.
De Bruyne has been injured for longer. And the minute he's come back into the playing 11, he has hit the ground running and he started scoring and assisting all again.
Sure. But that still doesn't make him the player of the season in any form.
Of course it does. The season's not over yet.
How does it make him the player of the season? Not over yet.
That's exactly what I asked.
So far, right? So far. It is so far. So far, De Bruyne is still not there.
Of course he's there. He's on his way to being there. Of course he's there. We're talking about contenders. Foden's there. Haaland is there. Sure. I'm not saying that Salah's not there. I'm saying Salah can also be there. But he's not a clear winner or clear leader in this race. You can't really tell because the season's not over yet. And yes, many players have had injuries and they've had...
Of course. No one's proclaiming that this is a final one. We're saying so far. I'm saying so far.
Also, the second point that I wanted to refute that you made was it is biased towards the top 4 sides or top 6 sides that you said. And there's so many players who are further down in the league.
By the way, in assists, Kevin De Bruyne is 37.
Because he's missed almost 3/4 of the season.
How many games has he missed? Yeah.
Exactly. I'm sure he's missed a lot of games. I'm not even denying that, but I'm saying, so if you're eager to count a player who's 37th already put to this discussions, put some respect on Salah's name and say confident.
We aren't saying that he's not a contender. It's not as black and white. And also our metric is goals in this case.
It's brown because Salah's brown. No, sorry.
Your metric is goals.
No, my metric is, the goals and assists for now, right? Let's look into that. Right, and we're talking so far. What it becomes at the end of the season, it could be that Salah scores 59 own goals from now on and whatever. That could also happen. So I'm not discounting. I'm saying so far it is very clearly Mohamed Salah. That's not up for debate for me. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it can't change. I'm saying it will change. Maybe Kevin De Bruyne has a freak season and catches up. But just on the fact that someone has 4 assists in the Premier League, you can't count the fact that he's up there for discussions. Yeah?
I'm putting Watkins.
Yeah,
Watkins, sure. I will take that name. That's a great name.
Ollie Watkins,
up there. Yeah. Easily a very good name.
Come on,
that's where we come to.
Let's stick with Aston Villa. Douglas Luiz, what a fantastic season Douglas Luiz is having.
In fact, I would say Ollie Watkins is even better than Salah might be because he has more goals and more assists. So I think
that's
moving on to the last question.
I'll be like, if someone said that and the credit goes to Unai Emery or the credit goes to Ollie Watkins, and we all love Aston Villa this season. That's the club we love. I'm like, you know what? Give it. And no ifs and buts. But if Salah wasn't injured, he'd have more. But it's fine. No ifs and buts. But if Salah wasn't injured, he'd be ahead of overtaken Ollie Watkins. But I'll take it at Ollie Watkins.
But last question.
Definitely not 4.
I want to move to less problematic and damaging hobbies. Does anyone have the number for a meth dealer? I'm a long-suffering Everton fan.
Is that Akash?
Yes.
Coming from his secret identity.
Akash has unfortunately been unable to make it to the recording, but he is with us in spirit. So
his depression is with us in spirit. Also, I feel like everybody has an alter ego through which they come. I feel like Akash is the meth dealer whose alter ego is Akash Chandan. I feel like we are getting the alter ego.
Kids, don't do meth. It's a bad drug. Do not do it. Do not listen to Akash. Even if you are an Everton supporter, please don't do meth. It's not good. Right. Is that it?
Yes, that's it. That's all the questions.
Awesome. Thank you everybody for writing in. And when we do put out questions, we love hearing from you. When we do forget to put out questions, we miss hearing from you. That's just how it goes. Right, let's go to Brentford 2, Chelsea 2, the London derby. did not end up how Chelsea would have wanted. Of course, a late equalizer still got them a point. But it's not going well for Chelsea. The fans are booing Sterling. The fans are telling Mauricio Pochettino to fuck off. Prashant, is it happening? Is Poch going to lose his job very soon?
And there was even a banner, which I think that was the nicest banner. It's the most creative banner I've read in a while, which said that we don't want your shirt. We want you to fight for this shirt.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's what
Yeah.
I think that's a good take on kids who just go to stadiums like, can I have your shirt, please? And those banners have become increasingly popular now. But yeah, that's a great way of going about it. But Prashant, as a Chelsea fan, like, I mean, we've spoken about this multiple times. Like, I don't know what else there is to say. But do you really think Poch is the man for the job in the long term?
Not long term, yeah. Come on. Long term.
But he is a long-term coach.
I think maybe Boli thinks so. But the fans wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so. I think Poch definitely is the kind of guy to get you up in shape. And I think they are getting into shape. This is a very super young squad. Everyone knows it. But despite the fact that there's a super young squad, everyone's like, we still spend billions onto it, right?
Yeah.
And that, like, you spend billions, that doesn't mean it's going to give you guaranteed results. Who you're mixing it with, how well they're experienced, how well they understand the game, how well they're mixed into the squad, all of that depends, right? And clearly with Chelsea, that's not working out. All the players have an identity crisis of their own. God knows what's happening over there. So, I mean, to be fair, I still look at this as in a positive manner, coming out from whatever the Sadma trauma from the Carabao Cup, and which all the Chelsea supporters might still be saying that, you've come to Carabao Cup, you should be easily defeating Brentford, who's at the bottom of the table, right? You're right, we should easily be winning them. But at the same time, you should also look at the fact that Chelsea still had to put up a fight. There's a squad who wasn't willing to give up. They may have got it in the first half, but there was a collective decision that, fuck it, guys, we need to actually move to get that goal. There wasn't a senior player in that squad to drive this. This is still a young squad who's driving that mentality in the club. Now, if they were, I don't know, this is poetic or whatever, but if they were united in pain against Liverpool, it shouldn't matter where that pain comes in from. Like, they felt that loss, right? So even if they lost against Brentford, they would still feel like, okay, you know what, we should really buck up now. We don't need to hear this day in and day out. But I think that's what's probably happening. And I think Poch also mentioned that after the cup game that they all felt that loss. He doesn't need to go and remind that. So they know it, So for the fact that they actually fought to get that 1 point, I'm happy with that. It's just take it. Even if it means it's a mid-table club mentality, we're still a team. That's the bigger difference. You're still at least trying to build a squad. Even though if it means it's Chelsea, I get it, right? We are riding on all this history and all that crap. Like, come on, guys. Just let's keep the history a little aside for a while. This hasn't happened for so many years. Let's build the squad.
I feel so
and
sad.
Then get another manager, right? Even if that means that the squad is going to go down, but still, at least build the team first.
I feel so sad when I hear things like, yeah, maybe we are a mid-table side, but let's at least be a side.
Yeah, I mean, it's true, right?
A team fighting relegation is still a team, guys. Be a team.
Oh, a team that's fighting relegation has got so much to fight for.
True. I feel like United are also in the same boat, so I completely feel you, man. I completely feel you. Johan Wissa's goal, fucking fantastic.
Fuck yeah, I was just going to come to that. What a fucking goal, dude. What was that?
Do you think that it beats Garnacho as goal of the season?
I don't know. I would still keep Garnacho up there.
I mean,
it does. I don't think it beats like that. I think it was definitely the goal of the weekend, or even goal of the month, maybe. But I don't think it. Yeah, I don't think it
was it. Yeah, it was good. It was. I mean,
it's almost there at. Like, I would still keep it almost at par, whatever, but I don't know. I think the stakes of the Garnacho goal was much higher.
I mean, they were playing against Everton, so very few mistakes. So, yeah.
But didn't he break his long scoring goal streak or something?
Garnacho?
Yeah. With that
Not
goal?
entirely sure. No, I'm not. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. It feels so long ago, and United scoring is a once in a lifetime situation these days. So I don't even know. But with Brentford, Ivan Toney had a little bit of a dig taken at him. Ivan Toney was at the Brit Awards, and he was presenting the Producer of the Year award on stage at the O2 Arena in London. He was presenting this award to musician duo Chase and Status, and he was on stage with the DJ Vic Hope, and the duo were presenting the award. And Vic Hope actually said this. She said, "We are so pleased to be presenting the award for Producer of the Year. Ivan, any bets on who it could be?"
Oh, and then Ivan Toney's reaction was best.
Too soon.
Yeah, damn, too soon. Fantastic stuff. But I like him, man. He has a sense of humor about it. He seems like a chill guy. He's obviously good at what he does, and he's definitely probably going to a bigger club in the off season. So we'll see where that ends up happening. Right, before we end this episode, we have to go to Brazil. We don't usually go to Brazil, but I think today we will. Because in a game between Fluminense and Botafogo, hilarious scenes as I think it was a Botafogo player who was injured and he was off the pitch, and his teammate comes on and drags him back onto the pitch so as to waste time because the referee has to stop the game while an injured player is on the pitch. And then two Fluminense players drag him off the pitch again, and then the Botafogo players come to drag him back on. So it was fucking amazing.
Actually, in all of this, I really don't know how injured the actual player was. How injured was he? Was it for real? Was it not for real?
Highly doubted, because he got up, he was in normal, and then he pretended to fall back again into position, into act. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't think he was injured at all.
Can somebody put the Looney Tunes sound effect at the back of this and post it? And by somebody, I mean Prashant.
Yeah. Definitely, we'll do this one.
We should do this. But fantastic stuff in Brazil. Like, I feel bad for the injured player just being dragged around like he's just an object. He is a prop. You know, when we say like, oh, at that point in the game, I think he was. But we keep saying, oh, you know, footballers are humans too. They have feelings, they have emotions. Clearly not this dude. He was being dragged around
not this guy.
Like a rag doll, which was fantastic. But yes, with that, it is time to end this episode. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to the Corner Flag. If you'd like to get in touch with us and tell us what you thought of this episode, you can reach us on our social media. You can find Mukesh on Instagram at
Mukesh,
Prashant on Instagram at
Prash224,
and you can find me on Instagram at Amogh.
That's because his name is
you could have said Mohamed Salah. It was right there.
No, but I'm not player of the season. No, I mean, I'm not worthy to be player of the season.
That's true. Yeah, that's also true. And also, you were injured, so I mean, I don't know.
No, he doesn't get it. If United had won or even taken points off of City, I might have given him something creative. But he needs to be punished.
Fair dues. So do City. They also need to be punished, but that's for another lifetime. You can also follow the Corner Flag on Instagram and Twitter at @CornerFlagPod. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@CornerFlagPod. Subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or all your usual podcast places. And do not forget to give us a 5-star review, because that really helps us get new listeners. It would mean a lot to us. Shout out to Kazad Garda for composing our theme tune. And until next week, it is goodbye from us. Say bye, Mukesh. Say bye, Prashant.
Bye, guys.
And it's bye from me.
Hello.
안녕하세요.
What?
안녕하세요 means hi in Korean.
I had no clue.
안녕하세요. Dude, you need to get more Korean.
Say hello or 안녕하세요 to the most amazing Korean noodles you have ever tasted. Go Korean with Geeki hot and spicy Korean noodles. Great tasting Korean flavors at just ₹49. Try today. Geeki Korean noodles. Can't get more Korean.